Hi, Maria here. Welcome to Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today, I want to share with you summer cheapies. So I am a firm believer that you do not have to spend hundreds of dollars to smell good. If you want to spend hundreds of dollars to smell good, you totally can, but you totally don't have to. So I've got, I think, 7 or 8 fragrances that are perfect for summer weather, comparable to some of the more high-end designer and niche fragrances, a wide variety, so something for everybody. I can't wait to share it with you, but before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button, join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community, and welcome back to all of you that already are a part of this family. You guys are so amazing, and I'm so thankful for you, and let's get started. Normally, I share with you on Sundays, my fragrances for the week. The majority of them were affordable fragrances, so I thought what a great opportunity to just share some of the cheapies that I think are fantastic for summer. The first fragrance that I want to share with you is perfect, classy, elegant fragrance. It's amazing for like office wear, if you're wanting to do something for a special occasion, works as a signature fragrance, but it's that classy, elegant fragrance, totally gorgeous, and it's QUATRE by BOUCHERON. Now, I'm gonna give you kind of approximate price points just so you know. Everything will be linked down below. I checked FragranceNet for the most part, unless I couldn't find it on FragranceNet, and then I went to Fragrance Buy, but I've got all the links there, just so that you know, for those of you that are in the US, you can buy off of Fragrance Buy, even though it's located in Canada. So the prices are amazing. Like right now, like occasionally they start putting on the Xerjoff Casmerati line on Fragrance Buy, the 30 mils for $99 Canadian. So that's a steal of a deal for anyone in the States. It's only 30 mil, but if you've got a larger collection, you don't really need more than that. And then you get to have them in your collection, and they're way more affordable than the 100 mils. So anyway, Fragrance Buy is really great. I typically link to FragranceNet, because I can get a little bit of a kickback from it. So like anywhere from like 6 cents to like a couple dollars. Both companies are fantastic for buying. So the prices I'm quoting you, of course, they're approximate because it depends on what kind of sales are going on or whatever, the demand, all that kind of stuff. But right now this is $45 for 100 ml, I think, with part of the coupon. At FragranceNet. So great deal. This is a gorgeous kind of watery rose. The notes on Fragrantica are really misleading because it says it's got strawberry and all these kind of berry notes. To me, it smells like a slightly green, young, dewy rose. So there's an aquatic component to this. It would be similar to Idole by Lancôme, but I would say that it's actually way nicer than Idole. I love this fragrance, and as it dries down on the skin, it sweetens up and you get a little hint of, whether it's vanilla or caramel, but some sweetness coming in the deep dry down. The projection on this one is fantastic. Longevity, about 5 hours. But this is a very refreshing, enjoyable, elegant fragrance for a great price. Next, I'm gonna share my 2 favorite celebrity fragrances, and it's by the same person. It is SOFIA VERGARA. So there's SOFIA and there's Love. Now, SOFIA is a gorgeous, again, this would make a great everyday fragrance, signature fragrance. It smells like the primary floral in here would be rose, but it's a black currant fragrance. So if you're a fan of black currant, this one's beautiful. I just love this one. It's reminiscent to Coco Mademoiselle. I've done a whole video comparing the two, but this fragrance, although it's reminiscent, it's got its own thing. It's a little bit more flirty. It's a little bit sweeter. Instead of having an orange opening, this one has more of a black currant opening, but there is something very sophisticated, elegant, classy about this fragrance as well. So would work for a special occasion, everyday signature office fragrance. This one would work great. And I think this one is about $25 for 100 mils. Can't beat that. SOFIA VERGARA's Love. This one, I wasn't crazy about it to begin with. This one has some coffee in it. Some people compare it to Black Opium. I don't think it's anything like black opium, to be honest. Like nothing like that black opium. What I get is I get this delicious kind of passion fruit. There's some florals in there. They don't really stand out. It is in the same kind of genre as something like a black opium or The Only One by Dolce & Gabbana. This one's a little bit more fruity forward, in my opinion. But there is the coffee in here. There's a little bit of gourmand aspects in this one. This one's a little bit more sexy. This one's great for evening, although honestly, I would wear this during the day. In the summer, it's not going to get cloying. SOFIA, the longevity on this is like a good 6 hours at least, maybe longer. The longevity on this one is about 5 hours, I would say, max, and it sits closer to the skin after maybe 3. So with this one, you may want to reapply, but if you're wearing it for a date night, it's going to work because it's not going to project too much, but when they come in, they're going to get that sweet, delicious, kind of sexy, fruity, gourmand feel. So I just think this one's gorgeous. I wear this one a lot to bed because I like smelling sexy for bedtime, but I don't want something that's massively like overpowering. Like the one time I sprayed L'Extase, I wanted to smell all rosy and caramel, and Troy came into the room and said, all I can smell is perfume. So, you know, I don't want it to be overpowering. So this one's great. I also really enjoy wearing this one, honestly, during the day, especially if it's a little bit cloudy or whatever. You get your fruit kick, but it's a little bit sensual, a little bit cozy in a sense. So really love this fragrance. I have both the SOFIA VERGARA fragrances out all year round. This one's 25 bucks, so can't beat the price. Like seriously, really, really great fragrances. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is HANAE MORI by HANAE MORI. Now this is the one that's linked to Fragrance Buy, and it's $45 Canadian for 100 mils, which is a fantastic deal. This one is a very sweet, creamy ylang ylang fragrance. So you get lots of ylang ylang in there. There's berry notes listed, but mainly I get ylang ylang, vanilla, a hint of kind of almost an almond feel to this one. It's very creamy, creamy floral. Now this one is compared to Ylang & Gold by M. Micallef. I would say that Ylang & Gold is a lot more, it's smoother. The Ylang & Gold, the ylang smells a little bit more banana-y than the ylang in this. This one doesn't really smell banana-y. It has the creamy ylang ylang, but it doesn't smell like bananas. So yeah, I would say that the M. Micallef is a little bit more luxurious, a little bit more rich feeling, a little smoother, a little less synthetic. But if you don't want to pull the plug on the price tag, this is a really, really great option. I overspray with this one, and I find that it lasts a good 6 hours with really beautiful projection. So this one took a while for me to get used to because it is so synthetic kind of feeling. But lately, I seriously can't get enough of it. Like it just smells so good. It smells a little bit plasticky too, like synthetic, like Barbie fragrance. You know, everyone's talking about, hi Barbie, hi Barbie. I don't think I'd ever do that hi Barbie thing. It just irritates me, but I loved Barbies. Guys, true confession. Like this is embarrassing. I'm actually turning red. I played with my Barbies until I was 18 years old. Like, obviously I was a nerd, but like I loved doing their hair, and like I had pieces of cloth that I'd like create costumes for them and stuff. But like since then, I'm not into Barbie, like just not into Barbie. Although I wouldn't mind living in her world because it seems really happy. But if I were going to choose a Barbie fragrance, this smells slightly synthetic. There's a little hint of that plasticky feel. Like I can see people finding that. I don't find it too much, and I am really, really opposed to doll's head or Play-Doh type fragrances. They make me want to gag. Like I just get totally grossed out by them. So that's not this. But this is very, very synthetic. So that's the caveat, but I really, really enjoy this. And if you've smelled Ylang in Gold and you're like, oh, I wish I could get it, but I can't afford that. This is honestly a really, really great alternative. Next fragrance that I honestly think is fantastic for the summer. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure because again, it's quite synthetic, but I am so in love with it. And that is Sweet by Lolita Lempika. Now this week I had worn Sweet and I also wore La Petite Robe Noire Légère or Hippie Chic by Guerlain, and that one, it's a lot more of a powdery cherry with some raspberry in it. So I wanted to compare it to this, and I prefer Sweet by Lolita Lempika over that one. This one is $50 for 100 mils, so it's a little bit more pricey. I'll see what the fragrance by price is, and whichever one is cheaper, I'll link to it. But this one, it's a very, very, very synthetic cherry, but I am addicted to it. It totally reminds me of Lick-a-Stick, or like the Lick-a-Made Lick-a-Sticks. I've talked about it before, that powdery candy that you stuck your white stick in. And the reason why I started thinking about this was I was watching a video with Demi Rawling and Curly Scents? Was rating her sexy fragrances, and she had a niche one, and they were both saying, oh, this smells like Lick-a-Sticks, but they couldn't remember the word, and I kept on going, Lick-a-Stick, Lick-a-Made Lick-a-Stick, and all I could think of is like Curly Scents or whatever her name is. I'll leave their channels linked down below. She's like pretty, like a little bit risque. She deals mainly with men, and I know she would have had a field day with Lick-a-Made, but that was the name of the brand. Don't shoot the messenger. Anyway, this is a very synthetic cherry. It's very sweet. It's very candy-esque, but I love the way it smells, and I love the way it dries down on the skin. So if you overspray, you smell like a sweet, delicious cherry powdered candy. And then as that kind of dissipates, what you're left with is a beautiful, sweet kind of powdered sugar left on your skin that I think is just delectable. So really enjoy wearing this one. I think it's fun to wear, but it is like, it's really synthetic. And surprisingly, this one being the most expensive off the list is kind of crazy, but I just love, love, love this one. Next fragrance is Always Red Femme. Now, I've heard that Always Red, and I'll leave both of them linked down below, that Always Red is more like C by Armani than this one, but this one to me smells like C by Armani. It's got that same kind of sweet, kind of airy, delicate feel with the black currant in it. It's very sweet. But it's very kind of, it feels lacy or delicate or airy. So it doesn't feel overpowering and works really great in the heat. If you really, really love the C DNA, this is one that you would enjoy. Longevity, like all of Elizabeth Arden's fragrances, I find are really, really poor longevity. So this is about 3 hours max. But again, if you love it, it's so cheap that you can just respray. So great, great fragrance, especially if you love the C, but you don't want to spend the money for it. And the price tag on this one is $35 Canadian for 100 mils. 35 bucks for 100 mils for something that smells very, very similar to Armani C. Personally, I don't love Armani C. I love the Intense, like love it, because it's got some, I think it's black currant syrup in it, and it's so delicious, like so delectable. Love that one. Armani C, I'm not a huge fan. I prefer this one over Armani C. So for whatever reason, this one just works better with my skin chemistry. So this one is a really, really great option and so, so affordable. Now, the one more freshy in my collection, I've talked about it a bit, is Guess 1981 Indigo. This one is 30 bucks for 100 mils. This is a great fragrance. Longevity, you're gonna get about 4 or 5 hours. It'll stay as a skin scent for longer, but what I find is it projects for about 3. To me, this smells really, really clean. It smells clean, it smells musky. The color of it suits the fragrance smell. But what's really interesting with this one is that it's got a wine note in, which I really, really get in the opening. So for me, it smells somehow very clean, very crisp, but then like you're drinking a big glass of wine. So I find it really, really relaxing, honestly. I love the color of the juice of the bottle. I love everything about this, honestly. Very, very fresh, kind of clean fragrance. There's something about it. It works really great as a casual, everyday fragrance. It also, to me, would make a great office fragrance for sure. There's a hint of sweetness in this with just kind of a clean, delicate, kind of almost like fresh off the line, like not dryer sheet, but fresh off the line where you've dried your clothes outside and it's kind of taken on the smells of, you know what I mean, like that clean, fresh, off the line clothing smell. That's what this gives me with that wine aspect in there, which is so intriguing and interesting to me. So I think that this is a major easy reach. This is great for just running around doing errands. This would make a great office fragrance because it's not going to bother anyone, but you do smell clean but slightly sexy. There's a sexy quality about this, and that wine note is really interesting because you smell the wine. I just think of, bizarrely, I don't know why, but I think of Southern California, and I'm wearing a white crisp, one of those white cotton shirt dresses, but it's just white, a belt, sandals on, some sort of cloth bag, sitting on some sort of open patio, looking down over a vineyard. That's kind of the vibe that this fragrance gets. So it's easy, but there's still kind of an elegance and a bouginess to this. So I really, really enjoy it. It's relaxed. Yeah, you should really try it. It's definitely worth a sniff, especially if you're a fan of freshies or those clean fragrances, which normally I'm not, but I love this one. Or why do I sound like I sound like an old man? Like, what's going on with my voice? I'm gonna quickly mention Light Blue Love is Love. I love that fragrance. You know, not everybody can smell it. I smell it. I love it. It's raspberry, it's lemon, it's delicious, it's affordable. So I'll have that link down below, but I'm not going to go into details because I talk about it all the time. Next fragrance is Trussardi Donna. This one is $45 for 100 ml. I love this fragrance. Again, this is classy, sophisticated, signature scent worthy fragrance. The longevity on this is phenomenal, like 8 hours. It's got lemon and yuzu. Those are kind of the main notes. To me, this smells, again, like the white and gold kind of suits it. I think of like more dressed up white this time. So a whole white suit maybe, and you're with some gold jewelry, that kind of feel. So this one's a lot more upscale feeling. It's got that delicious kind of lemon. It's not too tart. So it's not like a house cleaner lemon. It's just a very soft, sweet lemon paired with some beautiful white florals and a little bit of a woody vanillic base. So this fragrance is so classy, sophisticated. It smells luxurious and rich, but it's like the freshie for non-freshie lovers because that lemon is so refreshing and uplifting and energizing, yet it stays very classy and sophisticated. So this is one of my favorite fragrances, honestly. Really happy to have it in my collection. And I love the milky white bottle with the gold detailing, and the cap is just so, so gorgeous. I don't know if you can see, like, look at that. So nice. So I absolutely love this fragrance. It's a little bit more pricey, but definitely smells bougie. So those are my affordable fragrances that work perfect in the summer. I love them all. I wear them all. In fact, I wore most of them this week. What about you? Do you have a favorite affordable fragrance? Another thing that's really awesome, I didn't want to include them because to me they're more like body sprays, but the Elizabeth Arden green tea line is really a fantastic line. I've got 3 from them. I got a couple of them for $6.99. I wouldn't want to pay too much more than that. But I have the pomegranate one, I've got the nectarine blossom one, and the pear. I like the nectarine blossom and the pomegranate one the best because the pomegranate one actually has a lot of raspberry in it. So those are great too if you want something refreshing and invigorating. But these that I've mentioned, for the most part, other than this one, which is a guilty pleasure because it's just like super candy-like, but the rest of them are honestly very sophisticated and smell like some other fragrance. So I will leave everything linked down below, the fragrance that I think it kind of compares to or the genre that it fits, just so that you've got the reference, and then of course the links to the fragrances themselves. What about you? What are your favorite affordable fragrances? Again, anybody can smell good on any budget. So I hope you found something here that you like and can get a chance to sniff it. And please leave your fragrances. If you've got recommendations, leave them down below. Great summer affordable fragrances, something under 50 bucks would be awesome to hear from you. So that is it. I hope you have an amazing week and we'll talk to you soon.